Hey Steelers fans! Welcome back to the channel, where we bring you all things black and gold. Your Pittsburgh Steelers are on fire this season, sitting at an impressive 7-2 and leading the AFC North. It's clear the team is working tirelessly to perfect their game and bring home the wins. We have a lot to discuss today: free agent options for our secondary, including Xavier Howard, and the much-anticipated showdown with former Steeler Diontae Johnson, now suiting up for the Ravens. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe to stay updated, and let's get into it. It's safe to say that not many people expected Pittsburgh to be sitting at 7-2 going into Week 11, atop the AFC North. With a crucial game against the Ravens on the horizon, it's make-or-break time for our Steelers. Coming off a bye and a victory over the Commanders, the team's in relatively good health. However, there were a few concerns, most notably injuries to Alex Highsmith and cornerback Donte Jackson. Highsmith's ankle injury means he'll miss some time, and Jackson's status is still uncertain with a hamstring issue. This has left a big question mark over our secondary's ability to keep up with opposing receivers, especially against a strong Ravens offense. The Commanders may not have been firing on all cylinders in Week 10, but there were times their receivers were wide open, exposing some weaknesses in the Steelers' secondary. With a challenging stretch ahead, General Manager Omar Khan might be exploring options to bolster the defense, specifically at cornerback. Enter Xavier Howard, a former Miami Dolphins star who was recently linked to the Bengals but didn't agree to a deal. This could mean an opportunity for the Steelers to secure a seasoned veteran who could provide some much-needed depth and skill in the backfield. Howard, a four-time Pro Bowler with 29 career interceptions, is one of the most accomplished cornerbacks still available in free agency. Known for his ball-hawking skills and experience, he could be a game-changer for the Steelers' defense. So, why didn't he sign with the Bengals after reportedly having a productive workout? The speculation is that Howard may have found the deal underwhelming or perhaps didn't like the fit with Cincinnati's system. This opens up a window for the Steelers to consider bringing him on board. With Donte Jackson's injury casting doubt on the depth of the Steelers' secondary, now might be the perfect time for Khan to explore bringing Howard to the Steel City. Yes, the Steelers' defense has been formidable, but the secondary has faced some inconsistency, and signing a player of Howard's caliber could help solidify the backfield for the remainder of the season. Howard's skill set, combined with Pittsburgh's existing talent, could be the final touch that helps the defense become a true championship-caliber unit. A lot of fans are probably wondering, why not just stick with Patrick Peterson? The Steelers do have familiarity with Peterson, who's proven himself to be a leader and veteran presence on the field. However, at this point in his career, Peterson's role is more suited to guiding younger players, like Joey Porter Jr., rather than handling every down as a primary cornerback. Howard, on the other hand, is just 31 and still has a few years of high-level play in him. Given his experience and reputation as one of the NFL's premier ballhawks, he could be the ideal addition. Let's also talk about timing. Bringing Howard in now could give him a chance to learn the system before the playoffs, a perfect way to ensure the Steelers' defense is ready to tackle tough offenses down the stretch. With Baltimore, the Bengals, and several other high-powered offenses looming in the Steelers' remaining schedule, adding Howard's expertise and athleticism could be exactly what's needed to make a playoff push. As if things weren't already intense, there's another twist ahead. Former Steelers wide receiver Diontae Johnson, now a Raven, is set to return to Pittsburgh for the first time in a different jersey. After being traded to the Panthers and subsequently landing in Baltimore, Johnson will now face his former teammates in one of the season's most anticipated matchups. He hasn't had much of an impact in Baltimore just yet, but that could all change in Week 11. Steelers fans know Johnson as one of the league's top route runners and a player capable of making explosive plays. However, he hasn't seen much action in Baltimore's offense, partly due to a slower integration under Ravens head coach John Harbaugh. That may change, though, as Harbaugh hinted at a Monday press conference that Johnson could play a bigger role going forward. Steelers fans, get ready for a bittersweet reunion. Johnson's presence on the field will undoubtedly be felt, especially for the Steelers' secondary. His familiarity with the Steelers' defense could pose a unique challenge. Whether the defense can contain Johnson and his new teammate, rookie speedster Zay Flowers, will be a big question mark in this divisional showdown. With Joey Porter Jr. already familiar with Johnson from their time together in Pittsburgh practices, the coaching staff might look to put him on Flowers while assigning another cornerback to shadow Johnson. Jackson, if healthy, would be a logical choice, but with his injury concerns, other options may need to step up. If Howard were signed in time, he could bring the experience needed to counter Johnson's elite route running and Flowers' explosive speed. Containing Baltimore's offense won't be an easy task. With quarterback Lamar Jackson at the helm and a host of offensive weapons around him, the Ravens pose one of the biggest threats in the NFL. This Week 11 matchup will be critical for both teams as they battle for the top spot in the AFC North, and the Steelers' ability to neutralize Baltimore's dynamic offense could determine the game's outcome. Pittsburgh's defense has been one of the league's best in 2024, but even strong defenses have areas to improve, and the Steelers' secondary has faced its share of challenges. Against the Commanders, open receivers were a common sight, and it's something that a high-powered team like the Ravens could exploit. Signing Howard might be the extra boost the Steelers need to bring their defense to an elite level and set the stage for a serious playoff run. Adding a free agent this late in the season can be tricky, as it takes time for players to adjust to new systems and teammates. But Howard's experience could make the transition smoother, allowing him to contribute quickly. With so much riding on the outcome of the remaining games, particularly the divisional matchups, an experienced cornerback could be the missing piece to this defense. Seeing Johnson in a Ravens uniform will undoubtedly be strange for Steelers fans. He'll likely want to prove himself in front of the crowd that once cheered him on. Steelers fans, get ready, Johnson will be looking to make a statement, and our defense will need to rise to the occasion. Emotions will be high, and so will the stakes, as these two powerhouse teams clash with the division lead on the line. The AFC North is one of the NFL's toughest divisions, and a win in this game would set the Steelers up for a favorable position heading into the playoff push. A victory would also serve as a morale booster, showing the league that the Steelers can handle any challenge, including one from a former teammate turned rival. In Week 10, the Steelers showed up as underdogs but walked away with a thrilling 28-27 victory over the Commanders, pulling off a stellar comeback led by none other than Russell Wilson. This win not only boosts Wilson's tally to 3 wins as the Steelers starter but also solidifies the team's rising status in the league. They're sending a clear message: Pittsburgh is back, and we mean business. But, as usual, hard-fought games come with their fair share of drama, and this matchup was no exception. Early in the second quarter, Steelers linebacker Patrick Queen found himself in the middle of a heated clash with Commanders tight end John Bates. Known for his aggressive style, Queen wasn't holding anything back, and that physicality sparked a small scuffle on the field that had both teams fired up. Bates, one of the league's best blocking tight ends, felt Queen went a bit too far, accusing him of being overly aggressive, and even implying that Queen might have been trying to do something dirty. Bates spoke out after the game on the Commanders' website, where he made some pointed comments. "I would say something like that has never really happened to me," Bates said. "Like I said, I was playing through the whistle. It's just the way I play. If you go back and watch the film, in my opinion, it was him probably trying to do something dirty to me. Things happen. It is what it is." While Bates downplayed the incident afterward, he didn't shy away from suggesting that Queen was looking for a confrontation. Known for his tough play, Bates shrugged it off as part of the game, but you can bet the exchange left a lasting impression on both teams. For Patrick Queen, this is all part of the game, and his role in Pittsburgh's defense. Embracing his villain role, Queen has been relentless, bringing a competitive fire that's hard to ignore. Since signing his 3-year, $41 million contract in the offseason, Queen has been dialed in, setting the tone for an intense, high-energy defensive unit that isn't afraid to get physical. Queen didn't just show up against Washington, he put on a defensive clinic. He was everywhere on the field, shutting down shifty plays from Jaden Daniels and keeping running back Austin Ekeler in check. It's clear that he's starting to find his groove within the Steelers' defense, and that's exactly what the team needs as they head into the toughest stretch of their schedule. While Queen has been criticized in the past for his aggressive playstyle, Steelers fans have embraced it, recognizing his passion and dedication to keeping opponents on their toes. He's taken the criticism and used it as fuel, showing up with a tenacity that matches the Steelers' gritty identity. And if that intensity wasn't enough, Steelers Nation, Queen's next test comes with some added history, facing his former team, the Baltimore Ravens. There's nothing quite like facing an old squad, especially in a high-stakes divisional game. You can be sure Queen will bring his trademark intensity, not only to prove a point but to show why the Steelers invested in him this offseason. The Ravens game is already expected to be one of the biggest matchups of the season. The Steelers are holding steady at 7-2, while the Ravens come in at 7-3. A win here would give Pittsburgh a massive leg up in the AFC North, but they're going to need every ounce of Queen's energy to pull it off. His ability to disrupt Baltimore's offense and stifle their talented playmakers could be a game-changer in what's set to be an all-out battle. In his comments, Bates hinted that Queen was playing with an extra edge that felt a bit personal. That's exactly the kind of energy that Queen has brought to Pittsburgh since his arrival. His physical style and competitive edge mirror the intensity that Pittsburgh's defenses have always been known for, dating back to the Steel Curtain days. Queen's mindset reflects a team that isn't interested in backing down, even if it means embracing a reputation as one of the most physical and unfriendly defenses in the league. For Steelers fans, that kind of toughness is what you want to see: players who play to the whistle, get under opponents' skin, and don't back down from a fight. Queen's role in the team is becoming indispensable, and his impact on the Steelers' defensive mentality is undeniable. Steelers fans might remember some of Queen's fiery moments from training camp. During the offseason, he had some intense encounters with teammates like Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris, showing the same competitive energy we're seeing on game day. This isn't just a show for the cameras. Queen's drive is real, and his passion is clear. Those camp clashes set the stage for a season where Queen has consistently embraced his role as the enforcer on Pittsburgh's defense. His recent performance and resilience in the face of criticism only reinforce his importance to this team. With the Ravens game just days away, Steelers fans can look forward to seeing that same relentless fire that makes Queen a key figure in this new, rejuvenated Steelers defense. As the Steelers push into the latter half of the season, Queen's role is only going to grow. His ability to read plays, stay aggressive, and disrupt offensive schemes is critical for a team that's facing some of the league's toughest offenses in the coming weeks. Pittsburgh's defense has been impressive, but Queen's presence in the lineup brings an additional edge that can give the Steelers an advantage in tight, physical matchups. Queen's physicality and energy are infectious. When he steps onto the field, you can see how it motivates his teammates to raise their game. This isn't just about stopping the opponent, it's about sending a message. Queen's play symbolizes the grit and passion of the Steel City, and as he gets more comfortable, he's showing why Pittsburgh invested in him. With a 7-2 record, the Steelers are well positioned for a playoff run, but there's still work to be done. Should Pittsburgh take a chance on Xavier Howard to bolster the secondary, or should they rely on their current roster to get the job done? And how do you feel about facing Deontay Johnson as a Raven for the first time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter. Remember, if you enjoyed this update and want to stay informed as we cover every twist and turn of the season, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications. Steelers Nation, your support fuels this channel, and we can't wait to share the journey with you as we push toward the playoffs. Thanks for tuning in. Here's to hoping for a big win over Baltimore. Go Steelers!